Many anomalies when it comes to this research. I can name a few. How about this, just for fun? Where are the old world repairs? I don't see any. Where are they? Did they have to repair the buildings or were they built perfectly? It would seem so, right? You may say, well, they built perfectly. They didn't need to repair the buildings because the buildings didn't break, right? Until a said event happens. But you may say that might be why, Panton. Well, then I would say, well, then who are those people? Because we learned nothing about any types of perfect people who were able to build in such ways, which does seem to have happened. It does seem that those people or somehow those buildings were built, and uh, these people and this level of consciousness did exist here on in this world. But where are the old world repairs? I don't see any of them. I've touched hundreds of buildings, I've seen hundreds of them in person. I'm talking about, and touched them, and I don't see any repairs that are obvious to have taken place before said event. Any repairs I see on any of the buildings are obvious repairs being done to damages likely caused by said event. In most cases, obviously from said event. But I don't see any repairs having gone through the event. Okay? As if these buildings were just maybe brand new at the time of the event, or that they were just built perfectly and things just didn't go wrong that often. Another example, who bricked up all the windows and all the doorways? That's what we'll be talking about here, because that's a big anomaly too. We have buildings. Just take one building, for example. You can have one building having undergone extreme restoration, refurbishing projects, and where many dozens of windows being bricked up, blocked up, doorways blocked up, bricked up. And this can be just one building, dozens. But we see hundreds, no, thousands of buildings having undergone these restoration projects, all in an early time period, turn of the century. What the hell is going on here? Now, meet Kieran here. He's going to show us the business. He's going to show us how it's done today, how we brick up doorways today. And he's going to do some good work here. Phenomenal work, clean work. And he's going to show us how it's done. And I like to watch this. I like to think as a meltologist here. Now, what's meltology, Panton? You keep mentioning meltology. What is meltology? I never heard of it. I think you just made it up. I think it's bullshit. What's meltology? Explain. Meltology is the study, the exploration of melted masonry structures, buildings. Yes, it is. So it's quite important for a meltologist to get to know the masonry quite well and to develop a personal relationship with the masonry. And that's what I am doing. I am finding it's just happening in my research from where it's taken me. So, Kieran here, take it away. Why don't you show us how it's done, baby, and I'll chime in. And I'll give my thoughts here. But you're going to see some great work here and how it's done today. And this is good brick masonry, clean brick masonry. Kieran, take it away, baby.
Outside, 50mm cavity, and then block work on the inside. We're also going to be plasterboarding it and plastering it for them, so it's not a massive job. They're actually going to use it as a storage cupboard. They've already got a secondary door there as it was being used as a porch, so material's already on site, so let's get to it.
Get to it, baby. We got a doorway to block up, to brick up here. We already got the block work done behind here, and they're making a new storage cabinet there, so time to get the toothing done here. We're going to remove some headers from the construction here so that we can interlock some stretchers, bricks laid the long way, into the wall here, make it nice and strong and structurally sound. He does great work, clean work. He enjoys what he's doing. So did the masons of the past. They had an absolute, wholehearted love in the trade. What it meant, all of it was very important to them. And it is to Kieran here too. He does great work, and it shows. He enjoys what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. and he's having some trouble here getting some of these headers out. And these do not appear. Now the bottom layer of bricks are on the ground level there. See how they're damaged there down below? Let me pause. Oops. You saw. The the very bottom layer of bricks there seems damaged, and all above seems to be new construction. And we have vents there, so it likely was a building going down below. The bricks disappeared into the ground, so but that lower level of bricks seems to be quite damaged, so he's not plucking out bricks that are like, have gone through a matter transition, which can make mortar a lot harder and bricks even more difficult to remove, but it still shows the level of difficulty. He even had trouble getting these bricks out, and they're not even X-factored bricks. And the mortar here, that's not going to last all week. No, 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 no. That's going to last today and tomorrow. He's likely going to have to make some more. Yes, he will. Tomorrow. He's not planning on getting the whole job done today. He's not planning on getting the whole job done today. You see him using power tools here, or he was using power tools to saw out those bricks. Now imagine in the 1800s, we're talking about, say, air compressed tools at best. And look how he's cleaning it up here. We find mortar squeezed out of these bricks like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Gross. Oozing out, melting out. And that's not how brick masons leave their work. They clean up their work like this. Now the work done over here, just to the side of it, not the best. The original work here in the building is not as good as his work. His work is cleaner than the original bricks that you can see on the side right there. Over here, not as good as his work. But he's matching up headers and stretchers here very well, and just phenomenal work. And it takes time. He's got 4 courses done here, or 4 or 5 courses done here, and he's gonna, I think, get about 10, 11 courses done today. And then the next day he's gonna complete the work. So there's no plans here to get this done today, just this one doorway. Now imagine, we're seeing this now. He's gonna put fishtail wall brackets in, fishtail and wall brackets, and every 4 or 5 courses up or so. Power tools here. Now imagine we're using compressed air tools and such, and those are every time periods, not even maybe. And so they say. And how were they doing all this? Because we see this being done on a massive scale. Dozens of windows in one building being bricked up. And we do see evidence of bricked up windows and such being done before said events. We do see that. But I don't see any repairs being done before said events on any buildings. I see no repairs. Let's move on. So, first day right here. So he gets 11 courses done here. And they got the plasterboard inside done, the block wall built. And today, another nice day, he's going to finish up the work. And notice how he has to get all that mortar inside of those little teeth there perfectly to have it be nice and clean. And that's what he's doing. He's raising up this string here on either side, keeping it nice and level and straight as he does the work. And that's key here. And that's what he's doing, taking his time. He's enjoying the work. Nice and comfortable, just, But it's important to take note of this and to understand what goes into it, And this is what's involved in just traditional brick masonry, good brick masonry. He's doing clean work, good work, keeping it nice and clean here. Better than the original construction and better than this obvious repair work being done right here. So I'm impressed, Kieran. And he's showing us how it's done here. New batch of mortar there, if you saw. The wheelbarrow was full of a new batch of fresh mixed up mortar. They were done with yesterday's batch pretty much. And so we're using headers and stretchers here. He just laid down a header or a little half brick there. The rest are stretchers. It's just a simple stretcher. There's no brick bond going on here in this building. It's just a very simple, traditional, today stretcher construction. for the most part. I mean, he's using headers here around where the doorway was and that seam right there, but for the most part, there's no specific brick bond going on here on this building. But just nice, clean work you see here. And I think about this stuff, I think like, these folks in the past, they enjoyed this work. They it meant a lot, what they were doing with the bricks. And we see what can come of this when you put your heart into it and you really, and it means something. We see the remains of what can happen um, when you put a little love into the masonry and into the, into all of it. It's not just the buildings. There was much more to their world than just the buildings and such. It was all connected. It all, um, every part of it as meaningful as the next. And it's just a different world we live in. We find ourselves today in a strange place. Things we've been told as are not as we've been told, and we're finding out quickly that we can do this on our own. We don't need any help from those them. Done are the days where they come in vain. We do not come in vain. None of this is in vain. Um, we are progressing, and we know what we want in our hearts, and that's where we'll go, wherever our hearts take us and lead us. And this is great work here. Clean work, great work. It'll dry up and it will look phenomenal. So that's what it takes. That's what goes into just blocking up that one doorway. Great work, Kieran. So I thought I'd share that example there. And that's just one. We see dozens of these bricked up doorways, windows having, happen on just one building. So take care, everyone.